Bro, what on earth are you doing? Oh, didn't see you there, bro. A blindfold is the last thing you want while reading. Oh, this? I was practicing, bro. Practicing what? Say, I took this course where they optimized the power of my brain, so now I can read without looking. You wanna see? Sure. Okay. Once upon a time, long, long ago, there was a king. Bro, the lights, can you turn them back on? I thought you could read without looking. Why do you need the lights? Because. Hi, my name's Prashant. You're watching Science is Dope. Shark Tank, that show where if you manage to convince the judges, even if it means fooling them for 5 or 10 minutes, then you get to walk home with a prize money so huge that you can send all your kids to private engineering colleges on management quota. Every Indian parent's dream. I'm going to talk about this family that tried to scam the judges on episode 2 of Shark Tank. Fortunately though, none of the sharks gave these people money and they walked away empty-handed. Unfortunately, they got to publicize themselves on a show being watched across the whole country. So what do? How does this scam work? We'll get into that, but first, I feel really bad for these judges, man. Based on just a couple of minutes of listening to a pitch, they have to part with so much money. I can't imagine how I'd feel the next day if I found out the company I invested in yesterday was a scam. Because there are people like these that come with their family and get their kids to demonstrate what they're trying to sell. I wouldn't be able to guess at first glance that they're trying to scam me. So what do?
शार्क्स, मैं आपको एक बहुत ही अद्भुत साइंटिफिक मैजिक दिखाने वाला हूँ.
The word scientific is simply being thrown around by him throughout the whole pitch. Just to give himself some credibility, he never explains any science behind what he's about to show. He gets one of the sharks to blindfold both girls, and there's some cotton below the blindfold to cover both eyes to show you that they aren't peeping. The girls are then made to guess a bunch of stuff without looking, and they guess the objects, their color, and even read some stuff like the serial number on a currency note. The sharks are really impressed by what they see, and the scammer then reveals that what they've witnessed is a scientific technique from Japan called brain optimization. He's running courses on teaching kids how to do this, and that's what his company does, and he asked the sharks for investment. The sharks all deny him, saying that what he showed them looks too gimmicky, but even though he might not have gotten the money he wanted, he got the publicity he needed to grow his scam. Let's first see how this works before we talk about the publicity part of it. So I've got here with me a blindfold exactly the same way they had in the show with the cotton and everything to help me cover my eyes. And I've got a deck of cards here with me which I'm gonna randomize and see if I can pull this trick off. As you can see, I've got the blindfold on and the cotton is completely covering my eyes. I can't see anything. And I'm gonna take the deck, okay, and I'm gonna completely randomize it and like see if I can pick a random card, this one, let's say, and see if I can There's the 8 of hearts, and let's see if I can do more. Take this. There's the Queen of Spades, right? Yep, Queen of Spades. And again, I'm gonna pick a random card. You can already see it. I'm gonna smell it. That's the 10 of Spades. from Narendra. So without any prior training in any brain optimization or anything, I was able to guess exactly what the cards were. So how exactly did I do it? Let's think about this rationally. The only light sensitive cells in the human body are in the eye, on the back of the eye, on the retina. The only way you can see anything is if light falls on the retina and the image reaches the brain. So the only way I was able to see those cards was if I was actually seeing them with my eyes, even though I made you think I couldn't see. See these tiny gaps between the cotton and my nose? I can actually see through that gap. You would think that the cotton covering the eyes would completely prevent me from seeing, and that's what I thought too, until I tried it out for myself and discovered that the cotton actually makes it easier for you to see. The gap is wider with the cotton than without the cotton. You can try it out for yourself and see if what I'm saying is true. You can get a blindfold and a cotton in a supermarket or a medical store or whatever. If you see the original Shark Tank episode, you'll see that these exact gaps present, and what these girls are doing by smelling objects is they're bringing closer to their line of sight so that they can see the objects and pretend to guess what it is. In fact, this girl almost exposed herself on the episode. Watch. Oh my God! This scene where she's attempting to peep through that small hole, that's exactly how the trick works. So that was the scam and that's how it's done. But the story of the scam doesn't begin or end with Shark Tank. This scam has been active in India for a couple of years now under the name Midbrain activation. Many centers have opened up all over India claiming to activate the brains of children, enabling them to be able to get better at studies and whatnot. While the only thing they can show for it is children can see and read things while blindfolded. And it costs something like 25k. Parents actually send their kids to these and they actually think that they're now better at studies because they can now read with a blindfolder. This scam preys on desperate parents who are willing to do anything to see their children get an edge to survive in this massively competitive world. Remember, when you're desperate, there's a scam looking to take advantage of you. I'm gonna call that Pranav's first law of scams. That's right, the person who's always watching for science has come up with a law not based in science. Now lately, this scam has been trying to grab a lot of attention in the media. In November last year, Kaun Banega Crorepati, one of the most watched shows in India, aired an episode featuring this same scam.
Once a grasshopper was sitting outside in the sun during winter. He was very hungry.
A girl read something with a blindfold on, fooled Amitabh Bachchan and took the whole country for a ride. Narendra Nayak, the rationalist from Bangalore, has been fighting this scam for many years now. I'll leave a link to a video where he's debunking the scam in a public demonstration. He wrote a letter to the network and got that KBC episode removed, and he did the same for Shark Tank, but the network never took it down. So I thought, why not make a video exposing the scam, and why not bring to you the man who's been doing a lot of work in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Narendra Nayak.
Everywhere it is coming through the back door, it is coming through the ventilator, it is coming through the window. How much can an individual or an organization like Mira can do? Everyone should at least use their common sense. Yeah. Can somebody see without light falling on the retina? People don't even have coming to this light not falling on the retina. Let me go into the history of this.
Yeah, I was going to
Some of this claim that it is coming from Japan. These scamsters in India are talking about Makoto Shichida. He's a big fraud. And by the way, to be fair to him, he never claimed that children can see without light. His was blindfold to restrict the vision and keep it to a very small gap. He did some other quackery. He called it as a right brain balancing or left brain balancing or some other thing, and he said children can become geniuses or that. But he never claimed that they could read without see without light falling on them. That is a typical Indian invention, like non-veg, cousin brother, sister, all that. This is also typical Indianism, that by smell and touch they can see. They cannot. But the quackery that they're following is the quackery of some other group, a Russian group called as Bronikov. This Bronikov method claims that here in his there is no exception. He says even adults can be trained. And that has been exposed so many times, and it is just a sort of parlor game trick, blindfolded thing. And nobody takes it seriously like in India. In India, because of the competitive atmosphere, everybody wants the child to be the brainiest in the world, and these people cater to their egos, telling them your child is the brainiest in the world. But there's a small glitch there which is preventing its expression. And this glitch can be overcome by our method, brain balancing or whatever nonsense are they call it. And then they entice the parents into enrolling their children into this, and the whole scam, like I said, goes on.
We also spoke about how widespread the scam is, how he's gone all over the country, across hundreds of cities, exposing the scam. In fact, when you search the term midbrain activation, it's his video that you will find first, the video exposing the scam, which is also why they've changed their name from midbrain to something like brain optimization, because you don't want your customers googling your name to find out you've been exposed, do you? The full interview that I've had with him, I've uploaded that in a separate video, and I'll provide a link to it below for those who want to watch. The most immoral part of this whole thing is that they get children to lie to you to promote this scam. Before they're old or mature enough to understand the impact their lies could have on people, they're convinced by these scamsters to become accomplices in their scam. These two that appeared on Shark Tank, they look old enough to judge the morality of their actions, but they chose to do it anyway. I have no words for them. Lastly, I told you how this scam is operating and opening its centers across hundreds of cities all over India, so most of its operation is offline. Millions of gullible parents are being scammed by this all the time, and they can only be protected by awareness. I can't possibly reach all those parents, but if this video gets a wide enough reach, then the people watching this video can at least try and help their friends and relatives be aware. So please share this video as much as you can for helping them. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, remember, science is dope.